You guys have played against some big posts. I mean, teams with size, but you've found ways to win. I mean, LSU, for example, got a bunch of offensive rebounds. But with this group, how have you guys been able to adapt with different games and find different ways to win when, if you don't win the battle on the glass, maybe you lock down defensively? I mean, what makes this team so adaptable?
Yeah, I think we've really learned in this tournament so far that we, like you said, have found ways to win. Yesterday I don't think our shots were falling in the first half, and we weren't shooting it great, but I think our defense was really great yesterday, and I think Gabby played amazing defense on Paige, and we definitely found a different way to win. That wasn't our prettiest game, but a win's a win, and that's all we want right now. So I think we've really learned the importance of playing a full 40, and executing both offensively and defensively is so important.
You might have been asked this, I understand. Can you talk about what you have to do against your height guard? Is it more than one person?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Camilla's such an amazing player, and obviously her height gives us a lot of problems for sure, but limiting her offensive rebounding and, trying to fluster her a little bit in the post and just play some pesky defense on her will be really important. But she's a great player. She's going to make some tough shots, and we're going to have to live with that. We're going to try to make her take tough shots, and like I said, limit their offensive rebounding will be super important.
The pressure that comes with people coming to see you from all over the world, you feel like those schools. You have to have your best performance on any given night when that happens. What lessons can we take from this experience to maybe make the next Caitlin Clark's going to be, make that person's life a little easier?
Yeah, I think what Paige said is so true, and I really appreciate that she said that. She is one of the greatest players of all time for sure, and that's hard for a player to say, especially if you're the best. Like, having all that attention is really cool, and she deserves it. But the way the women's game is growing is so amazing, and I think a lot of girls really experience that pressure, and just being able to have a team that has your back is what's most important.
Obviously, quite the senior class who's going to have their last game tomorrow. What's kind of the biggest thing you've learned from them?
Oh my gosh. There's endless things that I've learned from them. Those girls have pushed me every single day in practice and have welcomed me into this circle since I was a freshman. But not only outside of that, they've been there for me no matter what through these 3 years, and they're some of my best friends, and I know they're my friends for life. So, just cherishing that friendship more than anything. It's bittersweet that this is our last game tomorrow, but the fact that we get another opportunity to play for a national championship with this group is so special.
What would it mean for you? What would it mean for you to win a national championship?
How much will controlling your head be an X factor in tomorrow's game?
Super important. They present us with a lot of problems with their height and their strength, and South Carolina is a great team all around. So I think we'll definitely, like every game, rebounding is going to be such a key. And, I said earlier, just trying to play some pesky defense on their post is going to be super important. I don't know if we played a 6-7 post yet, so, the challenge is there and the opportunity presents itself. So we're just excited to get out there and get to compete.
Offensively, on that side before,
Yeah, I think just playing Iowa basketball, really, we want to get in the paint, whether that's driving or getting into the post, in and out threes. That's kind of what we're all about, and no matter who we're playing, that's how we want to execute every single game.
What would it mean for you and your team to win the first national title in Iowa history?
It's super exciting. That this opportunity comes like once in a lifetime. This is our second time, so we've been here, which is kind of crazy to think about. But I think that calms a little bit of the nerves. This is our second time playing for a national title, and I think we talked about that. Some people have counted us out in the beginning of the year and said what we've lost, and the fact that we've stayed together and focused on what we had. I just think this group is so special, and our potential is through the roof, and we're just excited to get out there and compete tomorrow.
When you played LSU and UConn, those teams were using 6-player, 7-player rotations. South Carolina had 82 bench minutes last night. Does that change anything about the way that Iowa's going to attack those Gamecocks tomorrow?
No, not at all. I think we go into the game with the same mentality every single time, and we're going to play Iowa basketball and really focus on ourselves tomorrow. We're going to play our game, and South Carolina is a great team for sure, and it's going to be a super competitive game, but that doesn't change how we're going to play our game.
Sydney, it seems like since senior night, every fourth quarter, Gabby comes up with an incredible stop on defense. What does that mean to the team, and how do you feel as a teammate that you kind of always trust on Gabby in a big moment to get a big stop?
Yeah, I think we all know how great of a player Gabby is, and she works her butt off on defense all the time, and I think we've reiterated it a lot that she does a lot of things that don't show up in the box score. She guards the other team's best player a lot of the times, and that's not easy for a player sometimes, not to get all the points or all the rebounds, but to do a lot of the dirty work. But I'm just so proud of Gabby, and we see it all the time in practice, and we hype her up about it, and I think we have all the confidence in everyone down the stretch to make big plays.
Apologies if I was asked, did you watch the South Carolina tape back from last year? Have you watched that game back at all before this weekend maybe?
No. I think I watched it last year after we obviously lost, or we beat them and then lost after in the national championship. But South Carolina was a great team last year, and they're a great team this year, but they're totally different teams. We definitely looked what they did last year defensively, but this is a new team, and last year is last year, so we're excited to get out with this group this year and compete.
Sydney, I remember last year in your run to the title game, there's a lot of talk about the March medicine that you took from that Maryland loss last year. Has there been any similar discussion about that Indiana loss this year that kind of set you guys on the right ship moving forward?
Yeah, I think definitely that that Indiana loss taught us a lot, and we knew we needed to win a lot more games down the stretch to meet our goals. But yeah, I think we all remember that Indiana loss a lot, and it does resemble that Maryland loss last year for sure. But I think we've worked on a lot of things since that game, and we've executed that super well down here in the stretch.
Said of all the mental tests you guys hit throughout the year, this probably 36-hour window by the time you went to sleep where you get this massive win and you have to forget about it immediately. You went through that last year, you got experience with that. Not a lot of teams have experience with that particular element of this tournament. How much does that feel like another benefit for you guys going into tomorrow, having gone through this transition here?
Yeah, I think the fact that, this is our second time playing for a national title is something so special, and, I think it eases the nerves just a little bit. We've been here before and we know what it takes, but yeah, I think taking it game by game was most important. We just beat UConn and we're already moving on, and, we celebrated that win and learned a lot of things that we could do better from that, and we're going to take that into Sunday and give it our best game.